What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I feel like $100,000.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders of P90X, Zapier, Atari, many more, and how they overcome big challenges in life and business. Our sponsor today is, Greg may be able to relate to these people, Rise25, which helps service professionals, doctors, lawyers, accountants, dentists, coaches, probably the same people using Thinkific, anyone working with clients one-on-one, to stop just trading time for dollars and shift from one-to-one client work to one-to-many, more of a scalable option. You can go to rise25.com to learn more and download your free dream product ladder. It's basically a business plan on one sheet of paper that helps you see gaps in untapped revenue. Companies like Disney, Apple, the sporting industries all use versions of the product ladder, and you can check it out at rise25.com. I'm very excited to talk to my Canadian friend, Greg Smith, co-founder of Thinkific, it's a platform. They have a fantastic website layout. Just for my conversion perspective, Greg, I love your homepage. And the Thinkific is a platform that is everything you need to create and launch courses on your own site. Greg, we'll call him a recovering lawyer, and for the past 10 years has taught thousands of students online with his own course. And now with Thinkific has helped many others create their own online courses because they make it drop dead simple because they have the platform for you to do it. Companies like Intuit, Hootsuite, and service professionals like I mentioned, accountants, lawyers, doctors, many more have used Thinkific. Greg, thanks for joining me.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Jeremy.
I want to talk about what are some of the popular courses that are on Thinkific, if you could name any of them.
Yeah, so we don't, I mean, again, we give like our clients their website, their brand, their course. So everyone's got their own unique and individual businesses, and confidentiality. I don't talk about, how much they make or how much they sell unless they tell me that's okay. And sometimes they do. But some of the amazing ones I see, I mean, all over the map, I see some really cool stuff in, areas you wouldn't expect, like serving the 50 plus empty nesters kind of, baby boomers market. So everything from the arts and crafts to the more fun, I've got some spare time on my hands and I want to learn hobbies. That's a really interesting space because they have revenue. They're now online, very internet and mobile capable and interested in learning and doing new things. And they're not sort of done with learning and exploring. And they've really accepted now this model of online learning as opposed to, say, going back to school for something. So there's a ton of interesting things in there in the craft space, some really cool stuff in sewing. There's this woman, Mimi G Styles, who does some really cool sewing stuff. Very cool things in fitness. One lady out of Australia doing hula hoop with Hoop Lovers TV.
Interesting.
Started filming with a camera phone in the park, and now she's got a studio in her garage and a whole team and travels all over the world doing live events too. So really building a business that leverages both online and live. And then there's one guy locally here in Vancouver who does a thing called Corporate Finance Institute, and he teaches people around finance, actually even for businesses, of financial planning and modeling and projections and spreadsheets and all the really geeky finance stuff that I love. So he does some really interesting things there. So it's all over the map. I went on flying drones in the film industry.
Interesting.
What
about an accountant? Just to give some viewers who are accountants or lawyers. Obviously, you have an LSAT one. Are there any other lawyer courses that people have created and or accountants? Courses?
I love the professions like that where they have a CPD, CPE, CLE kind of CE requirement, because you really get two great markets when you're creating. If you're an accountant creating courses, or a doctor creating courses, or a lawyer, you have your own profession who has to take education or they're going to lose their career. They need that number of credits. So you can build for them. But on top of that, building that same course is something you can often offer to clients or potential clients to help build your brand, build your authority as an expert in the area, and even acquire clients, or even give to clients for free. I mean, the law firms I used to work with are constantly inviting me back to their offices to take courses or even to take online courses about the things they're experts at. and often they give them to me for free because it's a way of showing me their expertise. And then of course I might have questions and follow up with a call to them, which generates the bigger fees of working with the law firm. So I see it as two great avenues for growing your business if you're a professional that way. Is one, getting off the dollars per hour and actually scaling and having revenue on a digital product. And then the other is even just attracting new clients or giving something to your existing clients as a value add.
So, Greg, who should be using Thinkific, who's not out there?
It's, the future that I really see.
Yeah, I mean specifically, like, are there certain influencers who are like, this person totally needs to start using Thinkific? Maybe someone out there knows them. I don't know. You know, like a hit list, with top 5, or like this person needs to get on Thinkific. We could help them tremendously.
Yeah, I had a good chat with Jack Canfield, and I know he does a ton in online education and has a whole program all over the world around training the trainer, and he's an amazing guy. And we actually did an interview with him last year and chatted a bit about it, but he'd be a great one to get on the platform.
Who else? Anyone else?
So if your buddies, put in a good word for me.
Yeah, there's actually one person I think you should talk to regarding that, but actually this person specifically. Anyone else besides Jack Canfield that would be good?
Lots more of my heroes. Vern Harnish, who does Rockefeller Habits, and then Jim Collins with Good to Great and Great by Choice. I think the stuff that he does for CEO training is absolutely amazing, and I'd love to see him.
Does he have an online course somewhere or no?
I don't. I haven't actually checked. I should look that because I listen to his stuff almost every day on the ride to work, and I read his books at night on my Kindle, and I should reach out and see.
So 3 last questions, Greg, and I always like to end, since it's Inspired Insider, I always like to ask about the lowest point, and then how you got through, and then the proudest moment.
Yep.
What's been the lowest point?
Lowest was in those first 3 years. We probably had a ton of really lowest points, but I co-founded it with my brother, and he's absolutely amazing and amazing to work with. But in those first few years, we had a few low points where we were... to be honest, a little bit. Huh?
Who's older?
I am.
Your brother. You are, okay.
I'm the oldest.
So you just put him in a headlock and just
no,
and he submitted. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was just, when you're not sure where you're going or why you're doing it, or why you're doing it, but you're not really sure if it's going to work, and you're not sure if you're going to be able to make rent next month, and you haven't paid yourself in a couple of years, and other than your online course revenue on the side, which was really the thing that sustained us.
Yeah.
It becomes difficult, and so it was really challenging. And then I always found that we were both kind of going to the same place, but sometimes had a slightly different direction or vision as how to get there. And we're both pretty driven leaders. Like, he's kind of helping lead his company now, and I'm helping lead my company, and I think that works well. But having two really driven leaders in the same place when you're also not seeing a lot of success in the early days was really a struggle. So we definitely had some interpersonal battles there.
How do you resolve it?
Well, we
did you go back to childhood? Like, I'm going to play, whoever wins this video game gets to make the decision.
The thing I always tried for is just to say, okay, that's your area, this is my area. You're the boss there, I'm the boss here. And that generally worked pretty well. I was like, okay.
Try and separate off what tasks people are in charge of. So that person gets kind of final veto.
Yeah. It worked well for him on the development side because I was like, well, I don't know how to develop software.
Right.
Or I don't know how to write code. So whatever code you want to write, that's up to you.
Yeah. I think this is so common, right? It's like having another spouse. And then how do you resolve those disputes?
Yeah. But then we also shared a lot of expertise. So we're both strong on marketing side of things. So that's where we probably butt heads the most because we were both opinionated on that. But the nice thing is, through all of that, it was, we might fight vehemently at the office, which sometimes is a really good thing because you get to truth, you get to the right decision, because we were always both arguing not from an interest of self-interest, but of an interest of what's best for the company. And then we go and have Sunday family dinner together every week, and everything was always good at that. So it was never got in the way of our relationship.
That's good. It's hard.
For tough times at work sometimes.
That's tough. What about some of the proudest or a proud moment from Thinkific?
Proud moments for me, the biggest ones have always been with people here on the team. I'd say in the last year and a half, 2 years, in the last year, we've gone from 20 people to 70 people. And,
wow. Holy cow.
It's the people here is just like finding someone come in who might be, even new in the industry or new to a job or a bit more junior, and then just kind of giving them a lot of opportunity, doing a bit of coaching, and then letting them take it away and having them come back and just blow you away with what they're capable of. And you hired them for a reason because they showed amazing things in that interview. But then when they come back, 3 months, 6 months later, and they're saying, I'm going to take over this whole department and do a bunch of stuff you've never thought of. That's, to me, always the proudest moment is recognizing that it's no longer me building this, it's everyone else here, and I'm just doing my best to support them.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the hiring, the building the team, and the training piece, right? And that you pick the right people.
Yeah.
Greg, this has been absolutely fantastic. I have one last question. Everyone should check out thinkific.com. It's thinkific.com. Throughout this, I just feel you have a lot of knowledge and you love learning from mentors and from distant mentors and probably mentors. So I'm curious on the mentor side, who your mentors and maybe personally or mentors that you have a recommendation on, like your people need to read these 3 books. These books changed my life type of thing.
Well, a good one. I'm just starting now, but I know the author is a coach of mine, Coach Kevin Lawrence, and
what's the book?
It's called Your Oxygen Mask First.
Oh, cool. We have to link that up. Is it on Amazon?
It's a great one around. It's funny because I bought it for myself. And then the day it arrived, one of my team came and sort of addressed some of the concerns that she was facing that are exactly addressed in the book. So I gave it to her. She took it home, read it. So I get it back tomorrow.
You did the opposite of what the title says.
I did make sure to.
Here's the book.
I did make sure to point out the irony of that as I gave her the book.
Exactly.
So I'm going to order some more copies. But
I'm putting on Your Oxygen Mask First, even though the book says not to do that. But. Yeah.
But Kevin's amazing, and cool. I know in skimming through it and now talking to Veronica, who's read it, it's got some really good stuff, and it's really about it's for leaders and people in leadership positions really taking care of themselves first in order to be able to serve the team better, because we're getting to a lot of servant style leadership, and that can go so far that you forget to take care of yourself and then you let the team down too.
Yeah. Any others?
I love everything by Jim Collins.
Yeah.
Just because it's all data and research based. Rockefeller Habits is huge. The Who book I mentioned for GH Smart.
Are you an Audible person, or do you like to read the physical book?
So I've unlocked the secret to maximizing my reading. Yes. I get the book on Kindle, and then you do usually a couple $1 upgrade to get it on Audible, and then you use WhisperSync. So I will literally be like, I get out of bed, I'm listening to the Audible in the shower, then I'm reading on the Kindle while I'm eating breakfast, then I'm listening to Audible in the car, reading in bed at night, back and forth, and it's constantly synced. So I do both.
Are those your top ones on Audible, or are there other ones you recommend?
On Audible? I get a lot of those same ones on Audible. A really good one recently that I don't think is on Audible, but is on in paperback or Kindle or everywhere else is High Output Management by Andy Grove from Intel. Really good stuff there.
Cool. Greg, thank you again. Everyone should check out thinkific.com. This was fantastic. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out